delay in getting aid into Gaza, 200 tons of food. What's holding it up? It comes as the tensions between the U.S. and Israel spill out into the open. Our NBC News exclusive, Charles Penster, the brother of Princess Diana, speaking out about the sexual abuse he says he suffered at an elite boarding school. And two families, how one helped the other achieve the American dream. Now they're paying it back. This is NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt. Good evening and welcome. A suspicion that there is more, or maybe less, than meets the eye in a widely circulated photo of Britain's Princess Kate is stirring broad speculation tonight about the princess and her health, nearly 2 months after she was hospitalized for abdominal surgery. At first glance, the photo is a picture of happiness, a beaming princess embracing her children, the image released by Kensington Palace. But on closer examination, news agencies, including NBC News, identified signs the photo may have been manipulated. Tonight in a statement, the princess admitted she does occasionally experiment with editing and offered her apologies. News agencies killed the photo, but serious questions about the palace's credibility are very much alive tonight. Holly Hunter has the story from London.
Tonight, yet another new photo of Kate, the Princess of Wales, but this one snapped by a UK photo agency. Her face barely visible in a car alongside husband Prince William. He's been out at multiple public events today, but not addressing the spiraling PR crisis back at home. Kensington Palace now apologizing for the confusion caused by this undated photograph posted yesterday. The first official photo since her abdominal surgery back in January, meant to be a sweet gesture on UK Mother's Day, along with a message from Kate. Thank you for your kind wishes and continued support over the last 2 months.
Top stories this hour.
But that's not what made the headlines. Just hours after posting it, multiple news agencies recalled the photo after concerns of potential manipulation. The AP says it appears that the source had manipulated the image in a way that did not meet AP's photo standards, adding the photo shows an inconsistency in the alignment of Princess Charlotte's left hand seen right here. And the edge of Charlotte's hair appears to blur unnaturally, and you can see the corner of her skirt appears oddly straight. Kate's hair and zipper appear misaligned, and the edges of these tiles appear repeated.
The primary reason for releasing this photograph was for Kate and William to say nothing to see, people can stop worrying. In fact, it had the opposite effect. It's made people more concerned than they were before and more suspicious.
And then this morning, the palace apology with a confusing explanation. Signed, Steve for Catherine, the princess wrote, like many amateur photographers, I do occasionally experiment with editing. I wanted to express my apologies for any confusion the family photograph we shared yesterday caused.
I think the best thing to be done now would be if Kate and William released the original photograph, warts and all, with no amendments and no changes made, so that we, the public, could see that the changes weren't that big a deal. But of course that depends on those changes being quite minor.
So Molly, has the palace offered anything about what changes were made to the photo?
Lester, a Kensington Palace source says the adjustments were minor. We have gone back to Kensington Palace to ask for more details. We've also asked about that original photo, and the palace says they have no plans to release it. Lester?
Molly Hunter, thanks. Some terrifying moments today in the air. Dozens of people injured after the Boeing 787 plane they were riding on encountered strong shaking. The cause is under investigation. Here's Tom Costello.
Video from inside Chilean flight LATAM 800 capturing the aftermath of some harrowing moments. On board the flight from Sydney to Auckland, New Zealand, 50 injured passengers and crew members. At least one lying on the floor, others with bleeding head injuries after being thrown to the ceiling. 13 sent area hospitals. In a statement, the airline says the plane experienced a strong shake during flight, the cause of which is currently under investigation. On FlightAware, LATAM 800 is shown flying at 41,000 feet when its altitude reading is suddenly lost for roughly an hour and 10 minutes, then reappearing as the plane approaches Auckland. analyzing the data recorder, as well as the memory on the flight control computers that control the flight controls for this airplane. The Boeing 787 was supposed to fly onto Santiago after stopping in Auckland.
Well, her and that girl just walked to your house to get phones.
The Justice Department has launched a new criminal investigation into Boeing following the blowout of the door plug on a 737.
Oh, they just walked to your house to get the phone, so just take it back with you. We'll probably go.
Has determined the plane left the Boeing plant without 4 critical bolts that hold the plug
Love you,
in
love.
place. Among the questions, does Boeing's admitted quality control breakdown violate a previous agreement with Justice after 2 fatal Boeing MAX 8 crashes killed 346 people? A scathing FAA audit found Boeing failed to comply with its own quality control procedures. We're working with Boeing and demanding that they come up with a very detailed plan within the next 90 days to fix the quality issues that are out there.
And Tom, last week the NTSB accused Boeing of not cooperating in the MAX 9 investigation, but Boeing, I understand, has now handed over some more information.
Yeah, that's right. The NTSB says Boeing has now provided the names of 25 people who worked on that door plug before it was installed on the fuselage, but it's possible the work was never documented as required by the FAA, Lester.
All right, Tom Costello, thank you. Now to those ferocious, dangerous winds still sweeping across the Northeast tonight, causing thousands of flight delays, widespread power outages, and at least 1 death. Aaron McLaughlin has late details.
Tonight's spring break travel is off to a bumpy start.
Wind everywhere was shaking.
Strong winds snarling air travel at airports up and down the coast. So far today, there's been nearly 3,500 flight delays and more than 100 cancellations.
I just hope we make it home on time. I don't want to stay here another night.
After a messy weekend of wet weather and harrowing escapes, that system blown out Monday by gusts up to 63 miles per hour, with tens of millions of Americans in the Northeast under wind alerts. The combination of rain-saturated soil and strong winds turned deadly overnight. In Pennsylvania, 43-year-old Scott Quickle was killed after a massive tree fell on his home. Meanwhile, across the tri-state area, the wind knocked out power for thousands. And in our nation's capital, the weather shut down monuments for a second day.
It used to be that the weather of yesterday was predictive of the weather of today, and that's no longer true. We're seeing much warmer winters, much wetter winters.
The unfortunate new reality of a winter of extremes. Aaron McLaughlin, NBC News, New York.
Let's turn to the race for the White House now in a new clash over Social Security. President Biden accusing Donald Trump of suggesting he'd make cuts to the entitlement program. The Trump campaign firing back tonight, saying Mr. Trump never said that. Eric Haig now with late details.
President Biden ramping up his re-election campaign tonight, attacking Donald Trump in battleground New Hampshire.
Donald Trump said cuts to Social Security and Medicare are on the table. I'm never going to allow that to happen.
Hitting the former president after he responded to a reporter who suggested something needed to be done about entitlements.
There is a lot you can do in terms of entitlements, in terms of cutting, and in terms of also the theft and the bad management of the government. I don't necessarily agree with the statement.
The Trump campaign saying he was not talking about cutting benefits, but cutting waste. Mr. Trump just last week posted
I'm going to play a solo rank game.
to cut Social Security. The president today
I'm going to play a solo rank game.
of second-term priorities. The large budget bond plan would boost spending to
Alright, Dan, I'm here.
$7 trillion.
I'm gonna go smoke since you get low, Jake.
The president calls for restoring the full child tax credit and proposes national paid leave.
Would you like to smoke, my lady?
Basic fairness. This basic decency.
Meanwhile, Mr. Trump in battleground Georgia blasting President Biden for saying he regretted using the word illegal to describe the alleged killer of Georgia nursing student Lincoln Riley. Police say the suspect was a Venezuelan migrant who crossed the border illegally 2 years ago.
Lincoln Riley, an innocent young woman who was killed by an illegal. I shouldn't have used illegal. I should have been undocumented.
I think you regret using that word.
Yes.
Mr. Trump met with Lincoln Riley's family before his Georgia rally.
Oh, he was illegal.
I say he was an illegal alien. He shouldn't have been in our country, and he never would have been under the Trump policy.
And today, Mr. Trump's lawyers argued that the March start of his
Cut my toe last night and start bleeding. was turned like a son of a
rules
bitch.
on his claim of presidential immunity. That judge could issue his decision as soon as next week. Lester?
Geraldine, thank you. In the Middle East, a ship that will bring desperately needed food to Gaza still has not left for the territory tonight, as tensions grow between President Biden and Israel's Prime Minister Netanyahu. Richard Engel with the latest.
200 tons of food, already rigorously inspected by Israeli officials, are ready to set sail, yet remain delayed in a port on the nearby island of Cyprus. The World Central Kitchen, the aid group shipping the supplies, says it's not responsible for the holdup. Multiple aid agencies accuse Israel of imposing arbitrary restrictions to choke off Gaza and pressure Hamas, while President Biden's frustration with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is clearly growing. Mr. Biden now saying he has a red line opposing a potential Israeli invasion of Rafah, where more than 1 million Palestinians are taking refuge.
Israel, I'm never going to leave Israel. The defense of Israel is still critical, so there's no red line. I'm going to cut off all weapons so they don't have the Iron Dome to protect them.
Netanyahu responding tonight, still vowing to go into Rafah, saying his red line is preventing another Hamas terror attack.
The President and I have agreed that we have to destroy Hamas. We can't leave a core of the Hamas terror army in place. They're in Rafah.
In Cyprus, we were given exclusive access to the command center, managing what officials hope will become a maritime aid corridor to Gaza.
If we have final good result, then it will be good for the continuation of this effort that is just starting.
Airdrops are picking up, but each flight only carries the equivalent of a single truckload with food that could help 6-year-old Padre survive. He has cystic fibrosis and needs a high-calorie and high-fat diet. His doctor and family say he's starving to death tonight, even though relief is tantalizingly close. And that ship behind me is towing a barge and will only travel around 3 miles an hour and take 3 days to reach Gaza when it was given permission to leave. Lester?
Richard Engel, thank you. We'll take a break in 16 seconds. The stubbornly high cost of food in that one big grocery chain is keeping prices low. You should know.
Yo, Scholar, this is my boss, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's smoking right now. Yeah, Papa brought me some bud, bro. He's here to what? And I drove to my boy's house, so we're just smoking joint. Me and Ethan Hardy. Hey, Scholar, why do not a lot of people in Virginia like you, bro?
What do you mean?
People like go to school, bro. Like when I went to school, bro, people say you a troublemaker, bro.
I mean, what?
Jayla Anderson, Haley Jones, Emma.
The bitch wanted to fuck with me in middle school, bro. So what? She gonna get mad tonight.
When I show up, call me immature, you know what? I'm never gonna grow up. Pure swiftness, young and gifted, not the one you wanna mess with. Optimistic, up to mischief, I'm just having fun with it. My style is idyllic, got the swag these guys mimic. Meticulous, too sly with it. I want you to know that I did it. I want you to know that I said it. I'm loving where these fights headed. Action makes me lightheaded. I always find the right method. Sneaky with a high IQ, but I'm a good guy too. I ain't no crook like you. Your crew say goodbye to obstacles I push right through. Backsides where I put my shoe. They focus on looking cool. When I finish with them, they look like fools. Shout out my tricksters. We got wit and thick fur. Step to me, you'll get served. Your whole team will get dispersed. All you see is a big blur and me posing with a slick smirk. We ain't playing, you be laying down there where your kicks were. Most underrated, most fun to watch. Drive under pressure, turn it up a notch. Light looking down at me. green. I am both slang cunning, they never know what I'm concocted. Never know when I am bluffing, there's layers to me. Like an onion, I win like it's nothing. I'm the best who wanna test hydraulic press. I am crushing who you fighting for. Pun intended, you want it, pun? Come and get it. Under the radar, undetected, you better expect the unexpected. I might sound cold, you're my slick grin. Y'all now drawn to watch me wipe the smile off you. When I outfox you, who are you exactly? I am cheeky, super swaggy, smooth and sneaky, super flashy. Got laugh whenever your crew attack me. We're my Arctic foxes, the whole squad obnoxious. It's hard to stop us. We think outside all your boxes. I'm the underfox, they underestimate nothing new. I am numb to, but I thrive off it. It makes me way more comfortable. I laugh it off, keep smiling. You can keep thinking I'm number two. You'll be thinking twice when I come for you. Don't try to confront the crew. Most underrated, most fun to watch. Drive under pressure, turn it up a notch. I ain't looking down at me from the top, but I love when they all consider me the underfox. Most underrated, most fun to watch. Under pressure, turn it up a notch. I ain't looking down at me from the top, but I love when they all consider me the underfox. I weren't invited, so what? They anxious when I show up. Call me immature, you know what? I'm never gonna grow up. Pure swiftness, young and gifted, not the one you wanna mess with. Optimistic, up to mischief, I'm just having fun with it. My style is idyllic, got the swag these guys mimic. Meticulous, too